You're a gentle soul with a kind heart, and yet that was not enough to change people. And you wonder why. People need cataclysmic events. They need to go through pain and loss for their worldview to be challenged, for them to question their beliefs. Your goodness and the deep conversations that you had are not enough because it did not generate any reflection within them. Because the person themselves were not interested in changing, since whatever they thought was true worked for them in that time. You're not being called to be a martyr. It's not that who you are is not enough, or your words are not enough, or your good deeds were not enough to cause someone to shift. It is their own interest. Their own interest in shifting. It is them running the end of who they are and what results that gave them. If they were mean to you and you consistently rewarded them with your presence, then does that challenge their attitude? Does that challenge how they treat other people? No. When you reward good deeds, when your good deeds are going into a black hole of abuse and misuse of power, that does not teach. And you must let go of that notion of goodness being a thing that will reward you, that will grant you, community, and it will it will change the world. And look, it can change the world, but it cannot change people who are yet to be challenged. Yeah. And you need to accept that. You need to accept that there's a point where goodness just cannot do anything. And it is not to mean that your goodness is, does not work. But you're planting a seed where there is rock. The soil is not fertile. That person's mind, that person's attitude, that person's worldview is not yet fertile for the seeds that you're trying to plant within them. And unfortunately, you begin to injure yourself because you begin to question yourself. You're not seeing results. You're treating people with kindness, and they're not reciprocating. So you're questioning yourself. You're questioning whether you're enough. You're questioning whether or not what they can they see. Yes, they're seeing and they're enjoying, but they're not ready to give you what you desire. In fact, it's not you. They just don't give anybody what they desire. They do not reciprocate. That is just who they are. That is just the kind of person they are. And you just need to accept that. You just need to accept that. Tough. Very tough. Very painful. But you need to accept that the soil is not fertile. And it is not about you. Alright? I'll see you again next time, friends. Bye, sis.